Welcome to the video on median. Let me get the title up on the board here. Median. Again, similar to the video on mode, and if you haven't watched the video on mode yet, please go back and watch that as a building block for the video on median. But the median is likewise a measure of central tendency. And again, if you haven't watched the video on central tendency, I would encourage you to do that now. But the median is, simply put, it's the middle score of the data set with a caveat. Put that down here with an asterisk. When the data are ordered. It's the middle score only when the data are ordered. And I'll put in parentheses here, that could be ordered high to low or low to high. It's irrelevant. Okay, so I've put some existing drew out some data sets. This first one up here is, and put the arrow here, this random variable x here is the one I used in mode, in the video on mode. And here we have the 78873169338. And it is an unordered data set on the random variable x, which we can call years of employment. And so now what we want to do, and I'll just go highest to lowest here, we want to reorder these. And so I'm actually going to do it in, I guess we'll change to red. So from high to low, this data set then would become, well, 9 is our highest. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 eighths. So 1, 2, 3 eighths. And we've got 2 sevens. And we've got a 6, 2 threes, and a 1. And so that should be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 raw scores that were unordered up here in yellow, and in red, the ordered scores from high to low. And what's important to note here is that, and we've talked about this in some of our display videos, specifically the video on cumulative frequency plots and the one on box and whisker plots, that the median is what? It's the, go back to yellow here, the median is also the, if it's the middle score, it means it's the 50th percentile score. If that's the case, then, and I guess we'll kind of just put another kind of bullet point down here, then there'll be equal number, that's a number sign, number of cases above and, underline that, below the median value. Okay, that's what 50th percentile score means, that there'll be an equal number of cases above and below. And so, with that being said, if, I'm going to put here, if there's an odd number of cases, then, there's kind of some if-then statements here, kind of asterisks here. If there's an odd number of cases, then median is middle score. Then median is middle score. Another asterisk. If there's an even number of cases, then the median is halfway between the two most middle cases. So in other words, of saying halfway between the two most middle cases would be taking the two middle cases, adding them together, and dividing by 2, or getting an average between them. So let's just kind of look up here back to our data set that we've ordered from high to low in red, 988877631. So there's 10 numbers here, and so that is an even number of cases. So we're down here in this if-then statement in green here. And that means we go over to the innermost 2. So we're coming in daisy chaining over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be these 2 innermost or middlemost values. And so what we want to do is take the average of these 2 numbers. Obviously it's going to be 7, but just to do the math out of here, you would have 7 plus 7 equals 14, and then take the 14 and divide by 2, obviously, to get the 7 again. So if those weren't the same number, obviously this is the process here that you would go through to find the median value. So what I did down here with this next random variable x, I'll denote it by underlining it in blue here, is I have put simply just 5 numbers in, and they again are not ordered highest to lowest. So let's do that now. We have 6, 6, 4, and 3, and 2. So that becomes our new data set, ordered from highest to lowest. I'll go back to the green and highlight, and now since we are even, since we have an odd number of 5 raw scores here, 6, 6, 4, 3, 2, we're going to be operating under this if-then statement, which says if odd number of cases, then the median is the middle score. So what is the middle score here? Well, you go over 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be this value of 4. So here, median equals 4. Up here, median equals 7. Now, oftentimes you'll see the median denoted as, I guess we can just put this, we'll switch to pink. You'll oftentimes see the median denoted as m lowercase d. The other thing I just want to draw attention to is I want to tie this back into our plots. So if you remember, in just a very kind of basic looking kind of cumulative frequency plot, kind of looks something like this. Where X was your kind of your raw scores, and your Y was your percentile. So you'd have 100% up here, 0% down here. So 50% was right here. This looked very similar to something like this, and kind of this ogive curve again. And so the 50th percentile would be kind of in the middle point, the inflection point here of this particular ogive curve, and it would correspond to this particular raw score right here that we would denote X. Okay, so this is kind of the interpretation of this graph, which ties back into our median again. And then also, if you remember the box and whisker plot, so we would have kind of a whisker portion here, a box portion that looks something like this. If you don't remember what these represent, you can go back and watch the box and whisker video. And if you remember, in the middle of the box, somewhere in this box, you're going to have a thick line that goes across the box, and the box itself, or the line across the box, represented the median value of your data set, just like this X right here represented the median value on this cumulative frequency plot. So that's it. That's a good kind of introduction to the median. Thanks for watching the video.